today for another video recipe. This week's recipe is going to be pasta alla puttanesca. For this dish, what you need is usually a long cut pasta. I love the conchiglie because of their shape and the sauce they retain. So you need a pound of pasta, Italian pasta, please. 1 14-ounce can of Italian San Marzano tomatoes, DOP, roughly chopped with all their juice. About a tablespoon of Italian capers packed in salt and rinsed. 1 garlic clove that I quartered. About 1/3 of a cup of Italian black olives. Italian sea salt, Italian extra virgin olive oil. Then you need water to cook pasta, which is already on the stove. Hopefully it'll boil when we'll be done with the sauce. So I'll be back in about a second, just the time to move all the ingredients over. And see you soon. And here we are. I put about a couple tablespoons of the olive oil in the skillet, and now that it's warm, we just saute our garlic until it starts getting golden. And once golden, we'll add the tomatoes, olives, and capers. Now, because of the heat of the skillet and the oil, when we put the tomatoes, usually it tends to sputter all over. So we will lower the heat and add the other ingredients. So hopefully it won't be that bad. The reason why we use capers packed in salt is because they are the best, especially the ones from the Isle of Pantelleria, south of Sicily. And preserving them in salt means that when you rinse them, you actually maintain only the capers taste instead of the vinegar or the brine aftertaste. Okay, we're pretty much done. So we lower our heat. And it still sputters probably. We had to wait a little longer before adding the tomatoes. Olives and capers. There are 2 versions of this recipe. One recipe, that's the one from the area around Naples, basically has these ingredients only and a pinch of hot pepper flakes, or even a little more than a pinch. The other version that comes from the area of Rome actually has also anchovies. So you can basically customize your recipe as you prefer. And usually a nice finishing touch is some fresh chopped tomatoes. So now we will wait until our water boils, and we will be back as soon as it does. See ya in a flash. Okay, our water boils, so I'm adding the hot pepper flakes to our sauce and put it on medium-low heat so it'll keep simmering the whole time that it takes the pasta, the cooking time of the pasta. As I said, usually you should use long cut pasta, but I love that one. Now this is Italian, actually this is Sicilian sea salt. So because of the strength of this salt, you don't need a whole lot. And I so go with my hands. here is pasta. The secret to avoid your pasta to stick to each other is not necessarily to put oil in the water, but just to stir it. Initially, stir it so you won't have that sticky mess. If you add oil, actually, because of the coating oil, the coating power of the oil that will prevent your pasta from sticking to each other, it will also prevent your sauce to stick to your pasta. So now our sauce is simmering. As soon as the water starts boiling again, we will remove the lid and go from there. So we will get back together when our pasta will be al dente and ready to be drained. Okay, sauce going and water boiling. So we'll see each other in about 8-10 minutes when pasta will be. Okay friends, our pasta is ready, so now I'm gonna drain pasta. Now what I usually do, I reserve a cup of water of the pasta, but not this time because of the shape of the pasta. They'll retain some water no matter what. So just give me 1 second. Toss directly into the sauce and just let it go a couple minutes in the sauce. This way your pasta will absorb the sauce flavor and will taste much better. The reason why we usually reserve some water is because if the sauce gets too thick, then you can always use that starchy, flavorful water to thin your sauce. Another thing you should remember, pasta does not have to be drowned in sauce. Sauce should be just enough to coat it and to complement it. It doesn't have to literally have pasta swimming in it. So just give me 1 more second and I'll get to you for the presentation, dishing out, and presentation of the dish. So 1 second. And it's ready. So we'll turn off and pour our pasta here. Now this is enough pasta for 4, 5, 6 people, depending on what else is served. Usually a pound of pasta in Italy is conventionally enough for 4 to 6 people, because the portion should be between 100 grams, well 80 grams and 100 grams. So here it is, nice, coated, and not swimming in sauce. I hope you will give it a try. It's really good and simple, and that little bit of hot pepper flakes that I put in really went a long way. So I hope you'll enjoy it. A presto e buon appetito!